And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks for spending time with us here. We greatly appreciate you. Everybody supporting the programs, supporting the local economy by supporting the Consumer Quarterback Show and all of our expert contributors. You know, it really means the world to us. We're getting an uptick in calls. We've got several deals going on with our audience out there. We're buying houses cash. We're listing and selling properties. So thank you to our audience out there. Greatly appreciate you. Also, our show partners out there. Think about all of the best in the Tampa Bay area when you think about home service providers, blue collar, white collar, legal, CPA, financial advising, so many different ways that we help you here with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Save the hotline number, because whether you're looking for a connection, maybe you want to sell a business, sell a house, sell some land, get a mortgage, refinance, buy a jet or a automobile, we got you covered. 813-917-1894. Maybe you want to talk health with Martine Gramatica, get that life scan, get that scan on your body, make sure there's no illnesses in your home, in your body there. Your midsection is where I think it's something like 90% of the health scares come from Clearview Imaging there, Martine Gramatica. Lots of ways we help you on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Ray Hall joining us here. Ray Hall Appraisals, rayhallappraisals.com. We're going to talk with him about the real estate market. I got the latest stats here, Ray. Okay. We're going to look at Hillsborough, Pinellas, Pasco. All right. Talk about active listings and, what's the absorption rate? What does that mean? By the way, Hillsborough County, the fourth most populous in Florida and the 25th in the country in terms of size of population for Hillsborough County. So that's coming up and more. Also, Carmine Denisico as well. He is from the United Inventors Association. He's the president of the UIA. We're going to talk with him. He's got a lot of products out there. You've seen some of his products on the market, on TV, and he's had some on Shark Tank as well. All right, quick shout out to our friends over at Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner in Tampa for the Consumer Quarterback Show. That's the Brio Tuscan Grill, International Plaza Mall. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance, very friendly wait staff. They really go above and beyond to treat you right over there at Brio. Say hello to Chef Oscar Ramirez and Gabriel. He's the general manager. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. They got special events going on, live music. So check out their website, Brio Tuscan Grill, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Dave, we got another party coming up. It's time to celebrate again, man.
We most certainly do. It's going to be right back at the Crown and Bull in downtown Dunedin. Great hit it was last time, so glad we're going back there again.
It really was. Good crowd.
So this one is going to be much earlier. It's Thursday, July 3rd, day before 4th of July. It's going to be Independence Day theme, so wear your red, white, and or blue. It's still going to be the same 6 p.m. till 8:30 p.m. Of course, it's right downtown Dunedin at 319 Main Street. And the appetizers are covered by the MVP team, of course.
That's right.
Great time to come down, meet the other expert contributors, do some networking, and have a good time tonight.
That's right. We'll do it. We'll have some fun. That's coming up on July 3rd, 6 o'clock, Crown and Bull, and we hope to see you there. And we're going to go over some of the real estate stats here. Before we do, a couple of hot listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always featuring our listings live on air, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate listings. We've got a beautiful listing on Magnolia Island Boulevard, 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard. You got 5 bedrooms, 3 full bath. You have 2 half bath and a 2-car garage, 3121 square feet, 1 acre of land, gated community with lake access. 30 homes on this private community, and it's got that Cape Cod inspired feel to it. It's just a beautiful home. Pool, spa package, screened in lanai. Great opportunity. 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard. Call your agent. Set up your showing today, and we would love to make a deal with you on Magnolia Island Boulevard. Just reduced that one by about $80,000 as well. We did a nice price improvement. Owner is motivated, ready to make a deal on that property. All right, we also have a property at 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. This is an exclusive luxury international listing from Keller Williams Realty International. Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square foot. Exclusive Bel Air Beach location. Gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances. Saltwater pool, 100 linear feet of water frontage. Deep water access. Bring your boats, bring your jet skis. Enjoy that Florida lifestyle to the fullest. Historic Howard Drive boasts one of the highest land elevations in the area. And your 1 block to beach access. Dolphin-filled waters, sugar sand beaches, 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. Beautiful listing from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. You can see all of our listings. And if you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, we would love to talk to you. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Ray Hall back in studio with us. Ray Hall Appraisals, welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Always great to be back.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Want to jump into some stats?
Sure, let's talk about it.
We'll pitch and catch here.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with Hillsborough County. So you got 6,934 active listings. Divide that by the 1,711 that sold. That gives us a 24.7% absorption rate. What does that mean?
Absorption rate is basically the rate of, selling out the inventory. You know, how many houses are available compared to how many houses are selling, how many months of inventory do we have, or how many, properties per month are being sold. So that's a good indicator of, how the market's, what's driving the market. Are we in a buyer's market, a seller's market? Back in 2020 to 23, there wasn't many listings at all because you couldn't keep them on the market. Now it's a little bit of a different market. It's a little more normal. And that's what that absorption is how
March of
quickly we're selling those out.
March of 22, how many active listings do you think there were? I think that's the high water mark as far as low inventory.
And how many are there now?
No pun intended. Hillsborough County, 6,934 active.
69.
March of 22, how many actives were there?
22, I'm going to say closer to 20,000.
There are 1,118 active.
1,100. Wow.
Yeah, 1,100. So it's the other way, right?
Right.
So it's less inventory.
And what's funny is now everybody talks about how bad the market is. No, that just wasn't a correct market.
Yeah, it was irrational exuberance.
Right. That's almost like, cars being worth $50,000 or $500,000 for a Honda Accord.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because there weren't any out there. That's not normal.
Yeah, you're overpaying in a sense. You're paying sight unseen.
Yeah.
And the good thing, though, that it wasn't the irrational lending and crazy lending that we had that really caused that 06 meltdown, that 08 to 06 to 08 meltdown.
There was 608. That was also there was a lot of odd mortgages you could get. Mm-hmm. You could get a HARP loan and borrow 120% of the value of your home.
Yep.
Why do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Like why? It didn't make sense. So much was going on that didn't make sense. I remember I was working for J.P. Morgan Chase, helping them with repurchase demands from Fannie Mae, and I can remember a loan going through where the borrower was a substitute teacher or a bus driver claiming they made $150,000 a year.
Yeah. Because
they had stated income.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to show them how much you made. You just told them I make whatever.
We had all those loan programs, too. I worked at Argent Mortgage, which was the wholesale side of Ameriquest, one of the top 10 largest lenders in the world. And I remember when they first had the first payment default, when they had an uptick in first payment default. So as a lender, that's the worst thing. That's your kryptonite right there. That's like you do not want to see defaults, much less that first payment default. That means they strategically played you to get a loan,
get the money,
and then default on it, and then they're going to file bankruptcy, and then they're going to stretch it, and they're going to collect rents, and that's when the whole loan modification gimmicks came about. Remember that? Yes, but anyways, a little bit of a money trail there. But let's get back to right now, currently in Hillsborough, we talked about a 25% absorption rate, and right now we're at 4.1 months supply of inventory. Okay. So it's still you're still a little bit on the seller side if you're looking at strictly now. This is excluding. This is non-distressed, okay? So Hillsborough County, non-distressed. Let's go ahead and flip the page here. Let's look at Pinellas County. All right, very similar numbers. 8,653 actives, 1,551 sold. That's a 17.9% absorption rate. So 17.9, call it 18% absorption rate, 5.6 months supply of inventory. Yep. So now we're in that 5 to 7. What do we call that, Ray?
Well, with
a little more balanced.
A little more balanced.
Yeah.
You're going to have a little bit of, I think, of a little higher inventory out in Pinellas. As you said, it's 4 months in Hillsborough, 5 months in Pinellas. And that's just because they did get hit hard with the storm surge from the storms.
Right.
So a lot of people got scared and deciding I'm going to sell the house, fix the house, sell the house. So we're going to see that for a little while, but I think it's a great time if you can hold out, if you can buy a house and hold on to it for a few years. I think it's a great time to go in Pinellas County and buy yourself some waterfront property.
Heck yeah. And it's always up to the needs, right? The buyer's needs. There's people getting married. There's people getting divorced. There's people moving up, people moving down closer to the beach, closer to work. There's a certain amount of deaths, divorce, bankruptcies. You're always going to have that. But when you look at the needs, right? So, and a lot of times you look at the trends, the migration patterns, even within Florida and even within Tampa Bay. I'm noticing a lot of people leaving those densely populated areas of Pinellas County, for example, up to those northern counties that we're looking at, Citrus and
Marion,
up around Ocala, Marion. Yep, you're moving up that way. You're Pasco, even for some people. Some people are saying Pasco is a little bit too populated for me. They're wanting to move further north, Crystal River area.
Pasco's blown up. I remember when it was that was farmland up there. That was country. Yeah. Now you've got areas like Wesley Chapel, Land O'Lakes. That have just really just grown, just leaps and bounds. The Trinity area, Newport Richey's got a cool little downtown area now. I mean, whoever thought that Newport Richey would have this very cool, eclectic little downtown with great restaurants and shops and things like that, and that's what we're seeing now. So, like you're saying, the population is definitely moving out from, shall we say, the Tampa area, downtown St. Pete, mostly because those areas, values are so high.
Right.
You've really got to have a great income to be able to move into those areas. You look at the South Tampa area, which is close to downtown. Good luck getting something for less than $1 million.
Right.
So I think people are also moving out to those areas because they get a lot more for their money.
Yeah, exactly. Bang for the buck, man. You're looking at, and then you look at also these large planned unit developments. For example, in Waimama, I've got one down in Waimama right now. It's pretty cool. Actually, kind of a cool God moment for those that are believers and in faith. And so I'm talking to my mom. I called my mom and said, hey, how you doing? Just kind of doing a check-in call. And she says, just got out of church. I said, well, what's the message? What was the message at church? Oh, it was about abundance and allowing Jesus to provide and give in abundance. I said, oh, that's cool. I said, and then she went on to tell me how there's a church event, maybe a concert type event, church event in Waimama, Florida. And I happen to have about 45, 50 listings right now, and one of them is in Waimama, or maybe two of them. And I said, oh, interesting. I said, I got a house in Waimama, and it's one of those lagoon communities, really cool lagoon community where it's the aquatic paradise for kids. I can't imagine being a kid having that as your weekend spot, right? Because I was telling Mom how we went to this little place in Lehigh called Lakes Park. It was just a little like an old school back in the probably mid 80s, early 90s maybe, and went out there. And anyway, so I was comparing that. And then right at that same moment, I got a text message. I had just missed a call, and I got a text message saying, hey, I'm sending you an offer on your listing in Waimama.
Oh, great.
So kind of cool, right?
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
and that's a great area. That's another area that's completely, been blowing up lately. I remember when I first started appraising, there wasn't much out in Waimama.
Right.
You had Sun City Center, which is more the Ruskin area, which led into Waimama. But now you've got these lagoon communities, which are very cool, gorgeous. When I was a kid, I would have been happy to have a pool, let alone a lagoon.
Oh, yeah.
With all these amenities and these things to climb all over. They're so cool. If you're looking for communities with your kids, I would definitely check them out. Call Brandon, go check those houses out because those lagoon communities are really fun.
And they get a good value there. It's a gated community. It's super safe.
Yeah.
Great opportunity there. If you just joined us, we're talking with Ray Hall. Ray Hall Appraisals is my guest in studio here. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes, and the show is all about helping you win as a consumer, making you more street smart, helping you understand your buying decisions, helping you understand FEMA guidelines, which Ray, if you wanted to go there, we could talk a little bit about FEMA, because I know you're renovating some properties from time to time. And what are some of the biggest misnomers that people have when it comes to maybe a situation like a flooded property like you've seen?
Well, first of all, if you're going to buy a flooded property, ask if it's been deemed as substantially damaged. Yes or no. If they say, well, they haven't checked that area yet, don't buy that house.
Right.
Or offer land value.
Right.
Because here's what happens. You buy that house, and this happened to me, and then the county said, this is substantially damaged. You can either...
Over 50%, right.
Over 50%. You can either raise this house up, move this house, or tear that house down. and I was full into it already. So I went through the process, and the county was really great, and they really helped me out and walked me through everything, and I was able to save the house and then continue with the renovations.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are selling the houses. They just, they're flood damage, and not that anyone's trying to be misleading, but the house is damaged. They don't want to deal with it, and they're just selling it.
Right.
But you want to look that up. Find out if it's substantially damaged. If it's substantially damaged, you may want to just look into tearing the house down and redeveloping it, because you're going to go through a long process. When all was said and done, I had a $7,000 window as to whether or not I was going to tear my house down and lose my investment, or I was going to be able to proceed to renovate it and be able to put it on the market. Wow. That's a close window.
That's a close call there.
Man, that's a real close call.
Yeah.
Luckily I know a thing or two about valuing real estate, so I was able to get through it. But be very careful with those homes. Call my office. I can help you. I'll talk you through it.
Yeah.
I've been helping folks do appraisals for the FEMA 50% rule, 49% if you're unincorporated Pinellas County, but it's a lot different than a normal appraisal. It's all cost, depreciation.
Right.
We're not even looking at comps.
Got it.
It's a complicated process. So
it's important.
If you need help getting through it, let me know. I know the time to ask for reassessment is coming up now, but reach out to my office, 813-452-5369. And, talk to me, and I'll let you know where you're at and kind of how to navigate through it.
RayHallAppraisals.com, ConsumerQB.com, as well as another resource. You can shoot an email at our website, ConsumerQB.com, as well. All right, quick break, right back. More with Ray Hall Appraisals here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Greatly appreciate you listening to the program, subscribing to our podcast, subscribing to the YouTube, Rumble channels out there, at BrandonRimes1, at CQB Show on the gram and all of the social sites out there. We got a Brandon Rimes PA site as well on Facebook. So we'll be right back here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio.
Todd, I'm hearing a buzz.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Online at ConsumerQB.com.
I think it'll bleed through the...
Hey, Brandon Rimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios, because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract, and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer, and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rimes, 813-917-1894, ConsumerQB.com. Brandon Rimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our No Money Down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at KW.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com.
You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, Consumer Quarterback Show powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, investing. Please work with us. We'd love to help you and show you how hard we work to help our sellers win in any marketplace. All right, we got a hot listing here. This one is going to be 9594 Maricamp Road. This one's in Ocala, Florida. Commercial property, 5,725 square feet, 1 acre of land, plenty of parking there. It's a thriving hardware store, lucrative income streams, multiple income streams, not just the business itself. Seller financing is available with a strong down payment. 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road, Ocala, Florida. Another one of our 45 to 50 current listings from the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, always helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, investing. All right, this is Lexington. We've got a beautiful townhome available on Lexington as well. This one, we just did a price improvement on it, 2547 Lexington Oak Drive in Brandon, Florida. This has got to be the best priced townhome within a 5 to 10 mile radius. 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 1-car garage, 1917 square feet, new flooring, fresh carpet. You have level 2 EV charger set up in the garage, gated community, and the HOA covers a lot. New appliances in the kitchen, sleek cabinetry, double thick stone countertop. 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, Brandon, Florida. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Ray Hall, quick clip from Charlie Kirk. I love this idea about investing in the kids and investing in the youth.
President Trump will be able to hold up a phone in the way only Trump can do, say every baby will be able to log on to investamerica.com. You put in your social security number, all secured by cryptography and back-end access so it cannot be hacked, and your baby will get $1,000 deposit in there. It's a loan from Treasury, just so we are clear.
Isn't that cool? I mean, just the idea of the thinking outside of the box that we're doing now as a country. I just love it, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing the same thing, with my business. My accountant brought it up to me. He said, hire your kids. They have to do something.
Yep.
And I have plenty, I have teenagers.
Yep.
And, they're going to be helping me build my new investment business.
Yep.
Because they're going to learn about computers. They're going to learn work in Excel, MLS, analyzing deals. And I pay them, and then they pay their own way.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay for their bills anymore. I'm not gonna, when they start driving, I'm not gonna pay for their gas, and I'm not gonna pay for their insurance.
They're gonna earn it.
They're gonna earn it.
Right.
I'll admit, when I was younger, I was the youngest of 3 kids by quite a big margin.
Okay.
And I was spoiled, and
okay.
I never really appreciated anything I had.
Yep.
And it really, I think, set me back in life.
Yep.
Because I see people who have earned their way, who
right.
started from nothing and built it all up.
Right.
And, it really is a benefit.
Yeah, man.
And that's what
Big
I'm going to do to them. And, it financially helps me out because they're employees. That's my tax write-off.
Write it all off.
Yeah.
I remember cutting grass at a super young age. I couldn't guess, but it was a young age. I'm out there learning how to ride a mower.
Yeah.
For doing the weed eater.
Yeah. For me too, it was, I grew up in Long Island.
Okay.
So you woke up the next day, snow on the ground. You weren't going to school. You went out to the garage, you got a shovel, and you found people who, I'll shovel your walkway, and they'll give you $5.
Nice.
And you go and do that.
And get some slice of pizza or something, right?
Yep. And then you can go up to, we went up to Hillside Avenue and got our burger that day.
I love it.
But it was, how can I make money today?
Yeah.
Here's the opportunity, and we took it. So, that's what I'm hoping to teach my kids is look for the opportunities.
That's right.
It's a great life if you can make it your own way.
Right.
Not work for someone, not work for a company, and make a living doing your own business.
Self-employed, man.
Absolutely.
Self-employed. Try to be self-employed. That's the way to go. All right, Ray Hall Appraisals. Thanks for coming in, man. Good stuff, as always. RayHallAppraisals.com, RayHallAppraisals.com. Also online at ConsumerQB.com. You can see links to all of our previous shows. You can submit an email form there. Any questions you have, we welcome your questions. We read them on air sometimes as well. Coming up, Carmine Denisicco. He is United Inventors Association. He's the president of UIA. We're going to talk with him in studio here coming up. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.